It's just a day short of what unfolded 24 years ago when gunshots rang out on the streets of Kampala, marking the advent of a new regime. The NRM took over the reins of office, kicking out the short-lived military junta of Tito-Okello and his cohorts. Speaking to a fervent crowd that turned out at the gates of parliament to receive him, Museveni then said the problems of Africa and Uganda in particular are caused by leaders who overstay in power, which breeds impunity, corruption, and promotes patronage. 24 years down the road, many Ugandans who are oblivious of what was promised then remain deeply ambivalent over Museveni's legacy. Does Museveni still hold a vision for Uganda, or has he since then changed his locales to suit his political agenda? Has Museveni delivered on the rule of law, or was his promise a mere veneer of democracy? Are Ugandans who are tied to the clutches of poverty any better? And is Uganda, in terms of democracy, a political maker? Analysts look at it from different prisms. Former guerrilla war fighter Brigadier Pecos Kutesa says the virtues and philosophy that led to the protracted war still lives on today. 24 years ago, when you arrived in Kampala and launched the final assault on the military junta of Tito-Okello, and you are the commander of the 1st Battalion, Afande, do you still believe in the virtues that took you to the bush then?
Any person living would like to leave his country a better place than how he found it. I think I'm proud to have associated myself with what transpired up to now. The demystification of the means of coercion, when we told everybody that a gun is not something which should be used to intimidate others.
But a researcher and political analyst, Dr. Frederick Goloba Mutebi, has a divergent view. He says though the army could be the embodiment of the fundamental change promised, the legacy of the ruling party has fallen short of expectations.
They were all very young, they were all very idealistic, they were very naive as well. I think that some of the undertakings they made at that time, some of the promises they made were based on a genuine belief that they could achieve the sorts of things they wanted to achieve. But there is a difference between being in power and being outside of power. I think that what we have seen in the last 24 years reflects two things broadly as I see them. One is that they did not know what to expect. They had never been in power.
There exists a deep undercurrent of anger and frustration over why President Museveni has failed to cure the NRM's Achilles heel graft.
He thought that once you become president, you can do everything that you want to do. And I think that the last 24 years have taught him that you can't necessarily. Secondly, I think that some of them had not acquired the love for money and status and grandeur, and over the last 24 years, I'm afraid, they have acquired it. They have acquired a taste for money, they have acquired a taste for luxury.
When he came to power, Uganda had slipped into anarchy, the economy was battered, and there was gross human rights violations. President Museveni's message then was of hope and a promise to cure a moribund economy and restore democracy. Emam Taizibwa, NTV Tonight.